Hey, good morning. Yeah. Odin on his way to work. Odin on his way to work. Made a video about ripped from today's headlines. Everyone keeps talking about the. This is actually old news now, but the infamous Will Smith, Chris Rock shlap, and for some reason it made me think of the movie Rocky. And probably not for reasons that other people think. I was thinking about the movie Rocky as one of the greatest movies in cinema history as far as I'm concerned. I thought the writing was amazing. I thought the acting was amazing. I thought everything about it was amazing. Actually, I think Sylvester Stallone's two most famous franchises, Rocky and Rambo, the first installment in both are two of the greatest movies ever, in my mind. And I'm not some sly Stallone homer, but I think those two, first Rocky, first Rambo, were just phenomenal, both of them. But we're talking about the first Rocky. And why? Well, the movie itself is great. The idea that this kind of no-name, middling or lower tier boxer gets a shot at the champion Apollo Creed and he takes full advantage, and wins. That's an amazing story, very cool in its own sense. But the sub-story, the romance in the movie is the greatest thing about it in my mind. The relationship with Rocky and Adrian is one of the most awkward, beautiful, and for lack of a better word, cute things I've ever seen. Perfectly played by both actors. Paulie, for his part, was great. So, like watching Rocky, I guess, open up the beauty of this woman, Adrian, who is completely, no self-confidence, she's covered up, doesn't want anyone to think that she even exists, and Rocky finds this beauty within her and is attracted to it, and he's 100% believes that she is, this amazing, beautiful woman. She doesn't believe it, but he unlocks that in her. But then on the flip side, here's this meathead who, he's a boxer and he roughs people up for the mob, and maybe has brain damage from all the punches he's taken, and he talks and he doesn't sound as smart, and he doesn't say anything very elaborate or, she sees something in him. And what does she see? She sees beyond all that a man of compassion, of true care, true love. It's beautiful. And why do I bring this up in regards to the infamous shlap? The shlap heard across the world. The reason why is because that's the story of Will Smith. That's what every man wants and hopes for. Is that the woman in your life sees those things, those qualities that no one else can see, and believes in you in a way that no one else does, and holds you in an esteem and in a place of honor that no other person in the world ever will or ever could. And that the man in her life would do the same, that he would see the inner beauty that no one else saw. And so So this goes back to something that rubbed me the wrong way about Will Smith. So back in like early 2000s, this guy could do no wrong. He was on top of the world. Everything he touched turned to gold. He was batting 1,000. His life was perfect. His beautiful wife, their beautiful giant house, their cute little kids. Everything was rosy for him. And millions of dollars, everybody adoring you. I mean, this was after Independence Day and Men in Black and maybe around the time of Ali or something. Who knows? But he was on, I don't know, like 2020 or something. And it was like a big, long interview. They were walking around their compound, basically, their house, with their beautiful kids, him and Jada, and their, don't ask me how I saw this. It was like at somebody's house and it was on, because I would never watch this shit, but I remember it. And I remember how pompous and pretentious it sounded. But from his perspective, where he was at in life at the time, it made sense. It's where he was at, He started talking about how much peace he had and how much love he felt in his heart. But the part that rubbed me the wrong way was when he was like, I wish everybody could just feel as good as I do. And the reason that rubbed me the wrong way, you might get it before I say it, but like, dude, you're in a position that most people will never be in. You've got the gorgeous wife who's also famous. You've got the millions of dollars. You've got the adoration of fans. You can do no wrong. You're on top of the world. And it seems rather arrogant in that moment to be like, I don't know why everyone else, because that's kind of how he put it, like, I don't know why everyone else can't feel as amazing as I do and feel this peace and love like I do. And he was sounding really pompous, even though I don't think he meant it that way. It's just where he was at the time. But that's how it came across. And I remember thinking he sounded really pompous, and it really turned me off to Will Smith. So, fast forward. Now he's, he's not making all the giant movies anymore as much. He's not quite as on top of the world. His kids are grown. His wife's hair's falling out. She's got entanglements, and, the whole world's different. And then he's got this shlap incident that just forever tainted his whole career. Like, nobody remembers, or nobody cares about when he was on top of the world. He is at the bottom of the barrel right now for one incident. And that one incident, lots of people have pointed this out. It wasn't about him and Chris Rock, it was about him and his wife. Now, I know there's been talk about their open relationship. I knew nothing about that till all this happened. I didn't give a shit about any of that kind of stuff. I try to not pay attention to celebrity lives and shit like that. But I will never believe, and there's people, whatever, people that say it works. I'll never believe that open relationships work. For the very reason of why Rocky, the love story in Rocky was so beautiful. When he won, when he beat Apollo Creed, and he's walking back and all he's yelling, Adrian, all he cared about was her. And where was she? And all she cared about was him. And she's like, Rocky, and he's like, Adrian. There's like snot and blood all over his face. And we used to laugh at that when we were kids. and it became like, even back then, meme-worthy, even though there's no memes, but like, it was a thing. Adrian! But why? So I was a performer once. And after a show, you get lots of people coming up to you and telling you how amazing you are. It's as flattering as it can get, They're just like, you're awesome. They just saw you on a stage. And they were, and you were king shit in the moment. And they come up and they're like, you're amazing. And I mean, it fuels your ego so much, right? But at the end of the day, you don't care about their opinions because they're not at home with you. They're not committed to you. So I remember that, like, I was married at the time. I'd go up to my wife if she watched the show and be like, how'd I do? What'd you think? Your opinion matters. These other people's, they're nice, they're flattering. But all I care about is, what do you think of me? Because that's the role in a committed relationship, is that this person is all about you. This person's going to not only tell you like it is, but you can trust it because they saw the things that the rest of the world didn't see in you. They saw that you were Rocky, this meathead who maybe couldn't articulate a good sentence, but you had a heart of compassion for them that made them realize you were more than just the sum of your parts, more than just this persona that other people saw. And you saw this woman with no self-confidence working at a pet shop who didn't believe in themselves, but you saw the beauty of this person. You saw the inner strength of her character that no one else saw. That's what you need, is that one person who sees what no one else sees. The potential, the hurts, the strengths, the things that, the things that you're not going to share with the rest of the world. They see it and believe it. And when that gets cracked, when it starts disintegrating, the effect you feel is devastating. So now Will Smith is in a dark place. I hope he's okay. Because his woman showed him that she wasn't all about him anymore. And again, open relationships or not, like, you can believe what you want about them. I've never seen it work. And I just don't believe that that's the right approach to, anyway. Because it plants this seed of, you're not everything I want or need. I really see benefit in other people more than I see it in you. So that starts disintegrating, and you're in a big world of confusion and self-doubt, and even somebody who's on top of the world. Because again, the shlap heard around the world was not about him and Chris Rock. There was something underneath, So there's, really quick before I end this, there's Rocky 4 with Ivan Drago. And there's a really powerfpowerful scene where Adrian's trying to convince Rocky not to fight him because he just killed Apollo Creed in the ring, you know? That was a huge thing, and she's worried. She's worried for his safety. She just wants her man. But she says the one thing no man wants to hear from his woman. I mean, and the acting on it was great. She goes, "You can't beat him." And you could almost see Rocky just fuming like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that. You know, I can't believe you, the one who believes in me more than anyone, would tell me that. You can't do it." Why is that so powerful? We all know why. Because he had Mickey in his corner. He had the other dude, I can't remember his name. The other corner man. And he had Apollo in his corner at times. You know, he had Paulie in his corner. But all he cared about was Adrian's opinion. And when Adrian says, "You can't beat him," that one stung more than any blow he took in his entire career. So to sum up, that's why Rocky was such a great movie, and that's why this situation with the shlap and Mr. Smith goes to the Oscars. I just came up with that one. Mr. Smith goes to the Oscars. I like that. Why you can see the subtext of his life and the relationship and what that does to a person. So I hope he's doing all right. Like, I feel for him because of it's similar to a guy like beating up another guy for texting his woman or something, like, it seems like, wow, how could someone be so insecure? But it's like, man, if all of a sudden you don't feel that comfort of the one person who knows you the best, believing in you and being 100% about you, with no doubt, it can lead to some insecurities. And I think that's all that was. Amazingly, from like the darling of the movie world and music world, and a man who could do no wrong at one time. Anyway, just some ruminations on the subject from yours truly. Just one more person throwing their stupid ass opinion about it into the ring. So I'm just about to work. Take care. This is Odin. See ya.